Pure Oil New Zealand was developed from an underused oil extraction plant for fuel to become a leading processor and manufacturer of high-quality edible oils and stock feeds, mostly for the domestic market. More than 80 South Island growers now supply the company with a variety of seeds and beans for processing.
2012 was when Pure Oil was formed, and we purchased some assets of a failed government business, and there was an oilseed crush plant. So we started processing seeds. The first seed we processed was a rapeseed, like a canola, and that was back 10, 12 years ago. Even though we're an oilseed crusher or processor, we're really a seed handler. So we get the seed from our growers. We want to get the temperature of the seed down to a nice level. We want to get the moisture right and clean the seed, so take all the chaff out, and then put the seed into long-term storage. Then we bring it through for crush, and if we've done everything right, we tend to get more oil extracted through our presses, and we get a higher quality oil. When we started, it was a rapeseed, which is like a canola, so it's a GE-free because it's grown in New Zealand. Then we progressed to a high oleic rapeseed, which is a different variety. We bring that out of France, and that's a high monounsaturated oil, like on this box here, so it says, super high oleic. So it's healthier and also a stable ingredient in products. So it'll fry longer and make the food taste better. If it goes into another product, it gives the product more shelf life. So it's a very stable fatty acid. So that's why we've leaned towards more high monounsaturated oils. Later we moved to sunflower, so we worked with the Foundation of Arable Research, and we learned how to grow sunflowers in New Zealand, and we extract the oil from that seed here. And then more recently, probably the last 3 to 4 years, we've been doing soybeans. Retail's a significant part of this business, not the largest part. We sort of probably sell more into the food manufacturers, but into retail, like we've got our brand called The Good Oil, and that's a cold pressed oil. So when you extract the oil, there's no chemicals, no heat. You extract the oil and then you filter it, and you get more vibrant colours from your seeds with the high oleic rapeseed and the high oleic sunflower. They're both in the Good Oil brand. They are very bright colours, and their tastes are more, intrinsically sunflower seed taste, and our rapeseed taste is a mild buttery flavour. As cold pressing, you retain these flavours in the colour. Hospo is our sort of newest market that we're getting into, so that's into the restaurants and the cafes. And that's the brand we've got there, which is Super Fry, which is a refined frying oil. And now we're getting into collecting the used cooking oil to bring that back to our plant to turn into biofuel to energise our plant. So we'll be carbon neutral. So we're rapidly heading towards a carbon neutral future for this business, which is great. We sell some of our oil volumes go into the livestock industry, and then our meals. So when we've extracted the seed, we've got a protein that gets mainly sold in bulk out to pig farmers, poultry, dairy, and equine, which is quite large for us. New Zealand grown and New Zealand made definitely gives us an advantage in the market, whether that's consumers in the supermarkets, or if I'm selling to a food manufacturer or even a stock feed guy. It's that people do like to support New Zealand, and so I think it's a good advantage for us. Agronomy manager is Keith Gundry, and he's got 2 agronomists with him. So we supply full service to the growers. We supply seed for planting and then work with them through the growing cycle. It's a fixed price contract, and we have 100 growers in the South Island.
We look after about 3,000 hectares of oilseed rape, 600 hectares of sunflowers, and about 120 hectares of soybeans. We go from delivering the seed to the grower, helping them grow it through the whole growing season, providing when they should be doing what they should be doing at the right times, right through to getting harvested and delivering to the plant, sort of thing. So my role is basically before it goes in the ground, right through to harvest and delivering to the plants. Our main growing areas are South Canterbury, and we've got a bit in North Canterbury, North Otago, and then a little bit through Otago, and then quite a bit in Southland. So we're spread right throughout the South Island, really. We're seeing quite a good uptake and interest for growers, looking at different options that sometimes traditionally people haven't looked at. I'm trying to get the best out of the crop so that they get good results, so that they feel like it's a viable cropping option that they can continue to keep growing. I've been in this role 7 years, the company's been going for 10 years. We've got some very good relationships with the growers. Some growers have been there right from the beginning, sort of thing. So yeah, those growers are very important to us, and I try and keep and maintain those relationships as much as as strong as I can. We started to getting into more recording and research, and over the time we've slowly been able to increase the crop yields. A good example was here at Altenbroek. We were, first year I think we grew about 0.5 tonne per hectare. Now we're at nearly 4.5 tonnes. It's exciting when you start seeing growers starting to really perform. So this paddock here, you reckon was the best one?
Yeah, in the middle I reckon it was the best.
It would have been drier this season, wouldn't it, overall?
Yeah, it was definitely dry. It was dry earlier on.
Yeah.
So we're in Southbridge in Canterbury. We have 680 hectares all up here on farm, just over. And then we have, this year we had about just over 400 hectares of crop with just over 50 hectares of sunflowers in the rotation this year. Now rotation's about 7 years for the no-till system, and so you usually have a winter feed crop in. Like this paddock here followed rape, and the other paddock followed oats for our cattle. So then graze that through the winter, and then strip till comes through, and then sunflowers go in just to try and break up a bit of that compaction over the winter, because it does get a little bit wet in here sometimes.
We've grown consistently, probably 10 or 15% each year since 2012. It's not linear, but growth. But yeah, culture and our values that we live by, and that people who work at Pure Oil and also the other owners and directors, we're very values based. We find that that serves us well for attracting the right people who fit into our team and who are change and growth orientated.